Do you ever feel like you are just busy all the time? You got so many projects to do. Heck, you barely have time to even come up for air. And you always probably feel like you just need a break. You just want to relax because you have so much going on. And yet, you don't really have much to show for all the energy that you're expending. Well, coming up on the next episode of Shift or Get Off the Pot, I am going to give you a process that is going to help fast track your success. It's going to help you to just kind of squash all that busy work because you're going to learn how to build the momentum that is going to help you quickly achieve your goals. So if you know somebody that is constantly busy, always exhausted, always have a project to do, you might want to share this episode with them. It's coming up next. Stay tuned. Welcome to Shift or Get Off the Pot, the podcast that helps you get out of your head and into action so you can make your dreams your reality. Let's get to it. Hello. It's Kim back with you today with an episode that is going to help expedite your success in any area of life. Most of the people that listen to this are entrepreneurs, commission salespeople. They have a business that they're trying to grow. But it could be that you're trying to have success maybe in your personal life, maybe with a relationship, maybe you're trying to get back into the dating game, or you're just trying to get yourself healthy again, trying to get fit and get into some type of routine. Well, this episode's going to help you. It came about because I was talking to a friend the other day who is busy all the time. Busy doing what? We really don't know. And neither does she. We were trying to figure it out, saying, we all have the same amount of hours in the day. What are you doing? Like, what's so important to you? Why is it that you're always tired? And why do you feel like you can never really relax? What's going on? And at the core of this is that there's really no sense of purpose, no vision that is calling her forward, right? Nothing that she's truly focused on. So she's getting caught up in some of this busy work. But here's the thing. This is what happens to a lot of people as they're trying to build a business. They have an idea for the business. They have a vision. And I see this with commission salespeople all the time too. They have this goal that they're trying to achieve, but they're getting caught up in all the different activities without a clear path, without intentional action. And so they're doing all the busy work, but they're never really seeing the fruits of their labor. And so we want to get past that because what's happening is that you're just working harder, not smarter. And you can expedite your success. Think about this. Have you ever looked at people, maybe you've looked at the new business owner who in just a few days has the website set up, the about page written, the social media profiles all done, everything set up, systems ready to go. Or maybe it's the self-disciplined writer who has just completed her first book after just a couple of months. And here you are still struggling to write your about page. Why is it that some people just get things done? Well, this may sting a little bit, so get ready. The fact is that they have learned how to get out of their own way and sidestep their fears, which are often disguised as busy work, exhaustion, perfectionism, or its cousin, procrastination. They just have sidestepped those fears, excuses really, in order to take action. And as soon as you get into action, momentum takes over, and momentum is a game changer. But in order to build that momentum, you have to take action on the things that are going to move you closer towards your overall vision, which means you have to be clear on what that vision is. And it has to be important to you. Otherwise, you're not going to take action. So how important is it to you? Then you have to be willing to let go of the busy work that looks productive, but doesn't truly have an impact on your goal. So you have to keep yourself on track and on task. And in order to do that, you have to have a structure and a process in place that is replicable. Think about this. Everything in this world is built on a process. Even nature has a process that it goes through in order to create. Successful people know this. Successful businesses know this. They're built on structure and processes. Think about a restaurant. They have to have a structure in place. They have to have an operating system and a process so they know how much food to order, how much wait staff to employ, how long is it going to take them to prepare that food. They operate according to a solid structure and process because they know what their goal is. They know what the end desired result is. Most people, most entrepreneurs or commission salespeople, most business owners are looking for just two things: money and freedom. And they often equate freedom with no structure. But here's the irony. The very thing that they're trying to avoid is the very thing that is going to provide the most freedom and the most money. I read somewhere that ideas and structure are like a river and its bank. When a river flows, it follows this natural path formed of rock and soil. But without that bank, the river would overflow and it would start to destroy anything in its path. It needs the structure of the riverbank to propel it forward and keep it on track. Without the water, though, to nourish the land, then the riverbank would just become hard and start to crumble. Then it's going to block the flow of the river. The land relies on the river to sustain it and keep it pliable so it can create new paths for the river to follow. Well, if you stifle the creative flow, then your business is just going to become this tedious chore. Your life is going to become this tedious chore of dotting the I's and crossing the T's, or refining and refining and refining and perfecting. If you do away with the structure, you lose all sense of direction, though. And then you start to take on too much. And then it becomes overwhelming, frustrating. You start to tread water. You procrastinate. Have you ever noticed how fast that you can accomplish something when you set a deadline for yourself? Well, that's because there's a sense of urgency that takes over, right? And urgency creates momentum. But before you can get into action, the kind of action that is actually going to produce results rather than just that exhausting busy work, you have to know where you want to go. And you have to believe that you can get there. And this is where a lot of people struggle, because the difference between someone who has an idea and someone who takes action on that idea comes down to belief. And belief comes from confidence, which stems from clarity, which comes through action. Two of the best ways that I've found to silence our own inner critic and boost our belief are: number one, realize that our subconscious is only going to act on the dominant thought, and it makes absolutely no distinction between what's real and what's imagined. So it translates that thought into reality, regardless of whether that thought is driven by fear or courage. So let's take an example. Let's say that you want to become a health coach, and maybe you've been certified and now you're ready to get going. But you've been spending so much time on your website, perfecting everything, getting everything just so, and you don't have any clients yet. You've been spending money on getting all your website and stuff done, but you don't have any clients. And now it's starting to get a little frustrating. And you're thinking, but I don't know how to get clients. And you've been getting so caught up in all these things that really aren't as important, because it's the money-making activities that are going to help you build your business. So now you're keeping your mind busy, but you're keeping your success at bay. You're hiding. Why? Because there's doubt or some fear that possibly maybe you aren't good at what you're going to be doing, or maybe you just don't trust yourself, or maybe you just keep telling yourself, I don't know how. So you've got to pay attention to those dominant thoughts, because sometimes these thoughts are so subtle. It could just be, I'm so tired today. I have so many things to get done before I can start. I don't know how to really get those clients. Well, here's the thing. Obviously, none of those thoughts are serving you, right? They're just keeping you in a holding pattern. And the truth is, maybe you don't know how to get your first paying clients. But if you look around, is there someone out there in the world in maybe the same line of work who does know how to get clients, who does have a successful business? Well, if they figured out a way to get clients and to create their business, then clearly it's possible, which means that it's possible for you. So, is it that you really don't know how to get clients? Maybe not right now, but you can find a way. Because if someone else is having that success, then you can too. It's not like a magic wand just came down and anointed them and said, hey, you're the one that gets to have success. They figured it out, so you can too. So now we have to identify the thought that keeps popping up in your mind. And sometimes, again, this is subtle. Sometimes it comes through our actions. Are we just keeping ourselves busy? Are we spinning? Are we so busy that we're exhausted, right? That's usually an excuse. It's a fear. So we have to get really honest with ourselves here, because we can identify those limiting beliefs when we're honest with ourselves. When you're aware and you're honest, then you can identify it, and that allows you to start changing it. So you start by changing that thought. So if it's, I don't know how to get clients, flip the script. Flip the script. It's, wow, I have so much energy today. I'm trusting that I know exactly how and where to get my first paying clients. I'm trusting that I know how to do this. And if it helps you to have a visual to get rid of those dominant thoughts that are getting in your way, there's an exercise that I do that I call the catch and release. I'm a very visual person. So this has always worked well for me, and it's something I teach my clients. I identify the thought first. So let's say, for example, I don't know how to get clients. Take a little piece of paper, and you're not going to see this, but I just have a little piece of Post-it note here. Take a little piece of paper, write down the thought on there. For example, don't know how to get clients, or don't know how. Well, I name it. I like to label things. So I would just condense that. Don't know how, Donace, right? I just give it a name. I label it. And then I write it down and I put it on the piece of paper. And I hold that piece of paper in my hand, because then it becomes tangible. It almost feels like it's something physical that I get to remove. And that becomes very powerful for your mind, especially if you're a visual person. So to me, it's almost like, it's like a pair of jeans that I don't like them anymore. I don't want them. So I can hold this in my hand. This thought has become real now. I gave it a name. I've labeled it. I'm holding it in my hand. And I can say to you, you know what? Thanks so much for being here. Always thanking it. Thanks so much for being here, but you're no longer serving me. I don't choose to hold on to you anymore. Don't want you. Thank you so much, but it's time for you to leave. And then I just blow it off my hand. Because here's the thing. Sometimes those thoughts, those dominant thoughts, are so strong and they keep popping up that when we can give ourselves almost in a sense, a physical representation of them by labeling them, by naming them, by putting them on paper, then it becomes a little bit easier to release those and actually get rid of those. You got to flip the script, because you got to remember, success always happens from the inside out. Always begins in your mind first. The second step, you have to take action on your idea. And I know this can be so hard for people, but even if it's baby steps. So let's go back to the health coaching example. You want to start this business, or any side business, or you're just wanting to start a business, something that you want to offer to people. Okay. Can you offer your services for free first to a friend or a relative? For free first, for proof of concept. Proof of concept, yes, that what you offer works, but proof of concept for your own self, because that is going to be so important. It's going to be the thing that helps build your confidence in yourself. And when you can build that confidence in yourself, you start to build that momentum. When I wanted to start speaking and getting paid as a speaker at organizations, I started in Toastmasters to hone my skills. And then I started speaking for free at service organizations like Rotary Club, Kiwanis, Chamber of Commerce's. I was doing this, yes, number one, to obviously help boost my confidence in it. Practice. It kept showing up. I was putting in the reps. But then it was also putting me in front of people who hired me to speak for pay at their company events. You got to take that action. You got to put in the reps. When you are in your element, doing what you love to do, even if it's only in your mind initially. In other words, can I see myself doing this? Can I see myself as the person who has the thriving business? That's going to help keep you connected to your vision. And the more that you are connected to your vision, the faster you will create the dominant thought that is serving you, that is aligned with what you want. This will start to give you the clarity that then enables you to create the plan of action. Then you'll have some structure because then you'll know where to focus your energy. And when we know the steps to take, it becomes a heck of a lot easier to step out in action and move towards our vision with belief and confidence, even if it's baby steps. That allows us to start silencing those inner fears, to start sidestepping that perfectionism and the procrastination, rather than sidestepping your dreams, your goals. You've got the ability to achieve what you want. You absolutely have that ability, but you got to pay attention to those dominant thoughts. And you got to let go of the thoughts that just aren't working for you. Take some type of action today, some type of action, even if it's baby steps at first, because action is going to create that clarity, which is going to help give you the confidence to keep going. I will write these steps down and I will include these in the show notes down below. So whenever you need a good old kick in the butt, you can refer back. Now get clear on your vision. Identify the dominant thought. Flip the script. If you have to label that thought, put it in your hand, write it out, give it a name, put it in your hand, and release it. Thank it first for what it's given you. It's made you aware of where you're blocking your success. And then let it go. And then find some type of action you can take. Again, even if it's baby steps, even if it's imperfect action. If you have to give your services away for free initially, just so that you can get proof of concept. Again, not just so much for that individual. Yes, that's going to be helpful. It will help you get testimonials if you're building a business, but also it's going to give you the proof of concept for your own self that what you're doing works. And when you build that confidence, I promise you, it is so much easier to stay the course. Think about this. You start going out and you walk half a mile a day, pretty soon you're going to be running that half mile. It just starts with baby steps first, but you have to identify the dominant thought. What are you doing that is just getting in your way on a repetitive basis that's holding you back? Identify it, release it, take the action, and move forward. Again, I'm going to write these steps and put them down below so that when you need to refer to them, they are there, right down below. Now go take some action. Thanks so much for joining me here today. If you want some help achieving your goals, you can grab the success bundle that is linked down below, or you can join the challenge that I have coming up. The challenge is designed to help you align with your goals, get out of your head, get into action so you can achieve what it is that you say you want. You have the ability. Let's just get going and get it done. I'll be back again soon with another episode of Shift or Get Off the Pot.